So I tried doing this thing. I put the brightness down, but it seems to still be too bright. We try to be fancy. So since about 2016, every New Year's I would make a video where I would talk about my past year and make new goals. Except for that one year, I think 2017, where I realized that the mic wasn't on the whole time. So what I thought would be fun to do, which I've already done, I've already watched this video from 2020. What I thought would be fun to do is to watch it and react to it. After that, I will talk a bit more about my 2020 and what goals I have for 2021. It's gonna be kind of a reaction video, I guess. Alright, so let's start. Hello from 2020. I'm so tired, so I don't want to spend too long doing this video, but today is the 9th of January 2020. Usually I would make my New Year's video thing. Ideally, I wanted to have the video from last year and compare and respond, but I really can't be bothered. So I'm just gonna do an overview of 2019, talk about my current situation, and then what I hope for 2020, or like the end of 2020. 2019 was a roller coaster, I would say. I mean, it's not the worst year of my life, definitely. So this I was surprised by because it was a very bad year. Like, I don't know, I'm low-key impressed with how I say it's not the worst year because it was pretty bad, but maybe it's because the first half was so good that it balanced each other out, whereas I think my 2016 was quite rough because majority of it was suffering. I'm not sure what I meant by that, but I mean, I'm impressed by my resilience. Let's continue. It had some tough moments, but generally it was, I would say, alright. Like, even though I went through some bad things, my mental health did not deteriorate as it usually would with bad situations. So let's say from January to like early June, I was great. You know, I was on my testosterone. I was every month, I was getting my shots. I took part in my first musical, Sweeney Todd, as a main cast member, being Anthony, that was just because I could sing. I can't act. That was interesting. That's my first ever acting experience. Not to say that I was amazing, but I still did it, and that was growth. Completed my degree, graduated. That's a big deal. I graduated 2019 with a first-class degree in psychology. Came out to my parents. Well, I didn't really come out, but more like confronted them that I have been on hormones, and dealing with that whole thing was very stressful, very anxiety inducing. As usual, lost my sense of self a lot of times, lost my sense of if I'm right or wrong, and it's like religion and everything like that. That was tough, but I made it through. Yeah, I would say that even though I was kind of annoyed that I was going through that again, because every time I thought like going on T would make me feel very sure of myself, that my parents couldn't get to me again. But to find that even after all that, my dad's words could make me question everything was really frustrating. But I guess I did get out of it pretty fast compared to like times before, or like it didn't affect me or take over me as much as usual. So maybe that's why I seem to think that 2019 wasn't as bad as it was. My family came for my graduation, and it was a bit tense at first, especially with my dad, but eventually it was a bit normal. I had to go back with them though because I'm weak. So I went back with them August 9th, and then I was in Jordan for like 3 months trying to apply to jobs in Malaysia, trying to return to Malaysia. And in the end, I decided to just up and run away. October 29th. I flew back to Malaysia thanks to a very generous donation from a friend. And I mean a lot of friends actually, but like her donation was what really made it possible for me to come here, and I still owe her a lot. Yeah, and so I've been here since end of October. 2 days into my return, I break up with and it was a bit of a mess since then. That was definitely something I did not expect to happen. I wanted to come back for myself, but also for her, so that was not expected. But that's life. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans, and that's what I've definitely learned this year. That's for sure. I think that's something that I learned in 2020 as well. Allah is the most superior of planners, and even when you think you've planned everything down, you know what's gonna happen. You get surprised. So now I'm in Malaysia. I'm staying over at friends, one of the Trans of Malaysia group members. He's been very kind to let me stay at his place. Currently still unemployed. I work event jobs here and there. to earn some money. I'm still in debt, obviously, but I am, in the process of job hunting, job applications, interviews, all of that. It's a bit of a hassle, not hassle, well, hustle and struggle. But you know what? It's a new experience, and it definitely is gonna help me grow. Also waiting on the UN to decide what to do with me, because I'm applying as a refugee, so I can hopefully be resettled somewhere like Canada maybe. And end of January I have to leave to renew my visa here, so I'll probably go to Indonesia. I'm kind of excited for that. I'm kind of excited for this kind of like travel alone experience, adventure. A lot of guys have said to me that like Tinder in Indonesia is really fun, and like the girls you meet there are really nice, and da 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 da. I hope to meet other tourists or like travelers, and I hope it'll be I'm really looking forward to it.
What's that sound? Stop it.
So that is my current situation, my January of 2020. That's what it looks like. My plans for 2020 is that, well, number one, I'd really like to obviously resume my fitness journey, or whatever you want to call it. I really want to get buff. Like, I just want to get buff. I want to have muscle, and I want to have a physique that, I want to be naked and be happy about it.
So that didn't happen, partially because I had fractured my hand at the end of 2019. Was it 2019? Yeah. And that made it hard to even do like push-ups and stuff, so I had to not do anything like that would build muscle for a while. But I mean, I still tried. I had a few attempts of getting into a routine and working out for a bit and stopping, but I have been pretty consistent since November, and now I'm with a personal trainer and really trying to take it more seriously, and this will be the year.
Obviously I want to hopefully get employed, and maybe ideally that my UN application works out so that I get to go to Canada before the year ends. Maybe that would be nice, and to generally just be okay with being alone.
Well, COVID made sure that we're okay to be alone, so that was nice.
Happy on my own, being a healthier person mentally and attracting healthy people into my life. That is definitely something that I want for my 2020, and just like for all my years in the future. 2020 goals: look fit as heck, get employed, go to Canada, be financially independent completely, not have any debt, just be healthy and be happy, be content with life no matter what the situation is. Just be grateful, and yeah, let's see where this year goes. Bye.
That's definitely interesting. It gets me a little emotional, although I've watched that video before. Stupid sound. But it's really interesting to watch, to think back to that time, January 2020. I had no idea what's to come. My plan was that I'm gonna go to Indonesia soon and go for a week, come back in, get a job in Malaysia and live there. And I don't know what my plan was. I did want to still come to Canada, but I thought that wouldn't happen till the end of 2020 or longer than that. So the fact that I'm here already is like... But yeah, I mean, I came to Canada in February, like literally a month after that video. And then a couple months later, in October, I had my first job. So I definitely got 2 things checked off that list for 2020, which is different to other years. Other years I've set resolutions and plans that just didn't happen. I am happy being alone, maybe happier being alone than being with anyone, which is nice. I am financially independent, although I'm still technically in debt to the government a bit. But I've paid off my Malaysian debt, so that's really nice to know. Like the debt I was talking about in the video, that's taken care of, alhamdulillah. 2020, I'm happy with it. I really grew as a person. I came to the country that I wanted to be in. I got a job, I paid off my debts, became financially independent. I did work on myself to be happy with myself, to be more content with life no matter what stage I'm at. Now the next thing is to work on my body. Which I've started, from the first week of 2021. I've signed up with a personal trainer and I'm working hard on that, so I really do see this happening. I've made friends pretty fast here in Toronto, even in Montreal when I visited. Even though like COVID and everything, I still managed to settle in and be independent and sort things out, which I'm very grateful for. And of course, none of this would be possible without Allah first. So alhamdulillah for everything and I'm so happy with where I'm at right now. My goals for 2021 is really switch up my lifestyle so I can get into the body that I would feel comfortable in. And with that, I'm already in the process of getting my top surgery, so I'm really excited for that. It's gonna happen soon. I literally just got the forms today to fill in for, like, I guess my first consultation, so that's really exciting. I want to put out at least one original song, like record it, put it out. That I want to do that. I've been saying that I want to release an EP since 2018 maybe, so now I finally have the equipment. I have a MIDI keyboard, I have an audio interface. I don't really have an excuse to not try. But yeah. So I want to have at least one song, if not a whole entire EP, by the end of 2021. Body, music. Obviously this channel, I want to grow it. I want to get monetized. That's where we want to get at, monetization. I don't really have a plan for how many subs, but I think you need, what do you need? 1,000 subscribers? Monetized YouTube. Okay, so I just checked. So if I want to be monetized by the end of 2021, then I need to have 1,000 subscribers. So that's the goal, 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But I think the biggest thing that I really need to do is to start facing my parents, to stop dancing around this idea. Like, the thing is, I'm here, I'm happy, I'm doing what I want to do. My parents are still in denial. My parents are still trying to change my mind. Probably still think that I'm the biggest sinner around. My goal for this year is to, number one, stand up to them and be more persistent regarding my identity and how I want to be referred to, pronouns, all of that stuff. My name change. That's another thing I've got to do. But yeah, facing my parents about that, and generally just getting them to accept it, getting them to understand it. That's a big goal for me. But in the end, I think the biggest thing from 2020 is to realize that everything happens in its own time, as long as I'm doing my part. And I know that when it comes to my parents, I haven't done my part to get them out of their denial. I just didn't want to upset them. I didn't want to bring things up. But I've realized recently that I'm probably hurting them more by not saying anything, because I'm letting them sink deeper and deeper into their denial because I let them call me whatever they want, and that doesn't help anyone. But yeah, I just gotta make sure that I'm doing my part, and if they accept me or not, that's on them. I can't control that, but I can control what I do. This applies to everything, all of my goals. And I think that's what I've learned generally with making my New Year's resolutions, is that they should be about what I can do to reach a certain goal, not about other people or things happening to me. For example, for YouTube, I want to reach 1,000 subs. Now, I can't really control whether people watch my stuff, but I can at least make sure that I'm consistent, that I make an upload schedule, that I make sure to market my videos properly, that I share everything, like do all that needs to be done for the optimal environment to get me towards my goal. Now, whether I reach it or not, I mean, it's me and my luck, but also with my efforts. That's just a little tip that I've learned, is to set goals about what I will do more than the achievement itself. Although I didn't do that in 2020, but somehow it worked out. 2021 I'm excited for, even though we're still in this pandemic, but I think good things are coming. I'm turning 24, that's not nice, but at least it's not 25. 2021 will be the year of a body I'm happy with, more courage to face my parents, and hustle to get monetized, to turn YouTube into something more. My next video will be coming out on the 3rd of February, which I have no idea what date that is, but it is the anniversary of when I got detained at the airport, so that will be that video, the vlog from when I was in the airport detention center. After that will be my video on narcissism and religion. So if you're interested to see either of those, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.